100 naira ko. Esambaseko.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to another edition of the program Lagos This Morning. Today being the 26th of April 2023, and it's just about 33 days to the swearing in of the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. And this morning we'll be bringing to you recent news update and also discussions ranging from politics to entertainment to lifestyle to sport as well. But before then, I'm Olajide Taufik Olamide, and I have with me here my most wonderful co-hosts.
Good morning, viewer. You're welcome to Lagos This Morning. Of course, you know this program is it covers stories happening in Lagos and of course across Nigeria. I am Gladys Aluze. You're welcome.
All right, moving on today's program, let's take a look at the top stories we have for you this morning. All right, let's start with you.
On the top story, we have Nigeria's indebtedness hits 6 trillion naira as outgoing governors bow out with outrageous pensions.
Adamu APC leaders meet Tinubu, consider South-South for Senate President and Northwest for Speaker.
Knox, kudos trail Buhari's apology to Nigerians.
And moving on to Sudan crisis, we are having issues evacuating stranded Nigerians in Sudan. That's coming from the federal government.
On Labour Party disassociates itself from later seeking withdrawal of Obi'S case against Tinubu.
On assault, police to prosecute spare parts dealer as CP fires the DPO.
Herdsmen kill Labour Party chairman in Benue State.
Wow. City versus Arsenal, leaders battle holders in potential title decider.
Okay, on the last we have why many women remain unmarried even at 28, coming from Mike Bankole.
Yeah, beautiful top stories. You know, today is going to be a very, very wonderful edition of Lagos This Morning. If you're watching us, you can click on the like button. You can also subscribe if you've not done that. And also, as we have mentioned, the top stories, you can start dropping your comment as well before we head to the front pages of our newspapers this morning. Let's take a look at the front pages.
Right on the front page of this Nigeria, we have controversy over Labour Party's suit against Tinubu as party accuses Abopa-led faction of working to sabotage Obi'S petition at tribunal. Drama as HDP's 2019 presidential candidate seeks to stop Tinubu's inauguration. India
to become world's most populous country by April end, says UN.
Over 26,000 bread factories shut down in 4 years.
Wow.
Coming from Baker's Group.
Nigeria spent $195 million in 2021 to tackle piracy in Gulf of Guinea, Buhari.
Okay, Africa region remains worst hit by malaria, coming from WHO, World Health Organization.
Interventions averted over 1.5 billion incidences in the continent, says experts.
Yeah, we'll be moving on to Daily Trust. And on the front page of Daily Trust, we have federal government yet to begin evacuation of stranded Nigerians in Sudan.
On malaria, Nigeria faces $2.8 billion economic burden, the federal government.
Senate presidency, Barua Akpabio orders intensify lobby, visit Tinubu.
On 2023 election, 96% of female candidates crash out. 1,553 vie for positions, 72 wins. Women clean 3 Senate, 14 reps, 48 state assembly seats. Money, culture, religion against us candidates is a disaster for political inclusion. Carry.
I can see women inclusiveness in politics now. Moving on, we have 29 abducted as kidnappers invade FCT village.
On May 29, Kano, Kaduna, FCT, others get new commissioners of police.
And EFCC arraigns Ondo speaker, 2 others over 2.4 million naira fraud.
Okay, moving on to the next newspaper front page, which is Daily Sun. We have Southeast Governors Adebanjo Sultan meeting Enugu on national unity.
NAN's leadership and ministerial posts, we have lobbyists besiege Tinubu, sleep in vehicles near Asokoro home. APC chair Adamu meets president-elect in Defense House.
Ex-Minister Fanekayode backs Kalu for Senate President, Musa as deputy.
Herdsmen kill Labour Party chairman in Benue State as police rescue 2 kidnapped victims in Delta.
Police Service Commission approves new commissioners of police for Kano, FCT, Delta, Kaduna, Ogun, and 8 others.
This for students and of course parents. UTME begins. Candidates, parents complain of system malfunction, technical glitches.
If the 2023 election can be mad with technical glitches, so
how come UTME?
What is UTME? Okay, federal government, Atlanta Global Resources sign memorandum of understanding to construct rail in 9 oil-producing states.
We are having challenges evacuating stranded Nigerians in Sudan. Air Peace offers to lift victims from Ethiopia.
Justice in Nigeria slow and costly, says reports.
Moving on, we have Al Jazeera.
On the front page of Al Jazeera, we have direct entry registration to continue after 2023 UTME and census. That's coming from JAMB.
Bauchi State government condemns killing of 17 villagers by bandits.
Wow. Nigeria's indebtedness to World Bank eats 6 trillion naira.
Labour Party slams ex-youth leader, says he can't speak for party.
Kano governor-elect pledges reopening of entrepreneurship institutes.
And in Abuja, AMAC chairman urges calm after deadly clash.
4.6 million bank customers groan under failed transaction, demand 137 billion naira.
Kano State government-elect pledges reopening of entrepreneurship institutes.
And also President-elect Asiwaju Bola Tinubu returns after 1 month abroad. Moving on to the front page of Daily Independent, we have federal government announces date to get malaria vaccine and also avoid dangerous journey. Federal government wants stranded Nigerians in war-torn Sudan.
Afenifere released what Buhari must do to earn forgiveness, tackles him on resurgence of banditry, kidnapping after polls.
Well, before the run-up to the 2023 elections, we saw a decline, a drastic decline in the activities of the bandits and, Boko Haram, kidnappers and the likes. But immediately after the election,
they continued.
They came back. So I think Afenifere is now telling Buhari that he should have actually continued that kind of step that was taken during the election. Maybe they did something to them to make them calm down. So why after the election they didn't continue that kind of thing?
And of course, that the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, is not going to act because of what the Afenifere have said. They always have in mind of their own. They do things that they want to do the way they want to do them. Moving on, we have Gulf of Guinea. Buhari urges regular meetings of member states for peace security.
Lagos PDP suspend chairman, deputy over anti-party activities.
Police Service Commission, that's PSC, okays new commissioners of police for 12 states.
JAMB commences UTME examination wide with over 1.6 million candidates.
Joe Biden, 80, formally declares 2024 re-election bid at 80.
Wow. We actually saw a lot of people yesterday, out there, at JAMB offices. They were actually much, like at the roadside, about let me see, if I'm not exaggerating, about 500 people. at Ogbade, and I was just looking at them like, oh God. So with the education system and the like, so these people still want to, go to this.
If you have a
system.
child, wouldn't you want your child schooled?
Yeah, I would want my child schooled.
Irrespective of what they strike and what the educational system of Nigeria, you still want them to go to school, right?
Yeah, they would go to school, but I have a colleague right now that is not going to this kind of schools that these people are, enrolling for, taking JAMB. He's just going for a specialized school, learning what's it called, robotics, what's it called? He's into tech now. It's just a 2 years course, and I think it's taking more than about ₦1 million or so. So I think that one is just precise, because most of these our universities, they learn general knowledge. By the time they go back or they come out into the real world, what they are being taught is not directly applicable to the real life scenario. So I think people should now be doing a more direct course, whereby if you just want to study journalism or you want to study statistics, go to a particular space that you'll be fixated on that particular thing. Not picking GNS courses, what doesn't concern you, you pack everything together.
That knowledge, no knowledge is a waste. Not even one. No knowledge is a waste. But what I will advise is this: even while you are in the higher school there, acquiring this knowledge, don't forget to get a skill, because it's very, very important. Because all these things might fail, but your skill will never fail you.
Exactly.
That one I know for sure.
Because we have most of them now that are looking forward to, after graduation, they look for jobs instead of creating those jobs. Because we've known so far so good now that we have lesser companies. Okay, just say we have thousands of people being finishing school every day, graduating from universities, from the public ones, from the private ones, abroad, coming down back to Nigeria. Tens of thousands of people. How many factories do we have? Just say even mass comm student alone. How many media houses do we have in Nigeria that can employ all of them? It's not possible. So I think that's why they need to start looking outside now, before even getting to that school. Have a plan before graduating at all. So by the time you're graduating, you're not even thinking of going to submit your CV. You'll be the one to even tell your colleague, come and work with me, let me pay you. So I think they should just be proactive now, because we can't afford to toe the same path that others before them have actually told. So that's just my advice for them.
Sometimes it's actually very easy to say because you've been there. For those of them that have not been there, they actually want to know what it looks like to be in school.
Exactly.
And if I'm to say, I wouldn't, because if you're my sibling, I wouldn't want to deny you that opportunity. But I always tell you, get a skill.
Exactly.
To add to what you're doing there.
All right, moving on to the front page of this day, we have NDDC, US firm seal $15 billion deal for construction of mega rail line connecting Niger Delta states.
Moving on, we have Adamu APC leaders visit Tinubu, consider South for Senate President, Northwest for Speaker, as other interests also pushing North Central for speakership. Another opposition party asks court to stop Tinubu's swearing in for 3 days to inauguration, as US grants Nigerians permission to protest against presidential poll.
Buhari, Nigeria spent $195 million to fight piracy in Gulf of Guinea in 2021.
WHO urges Nigeria to commit 30% health sector budget to PHC.
How much are we even committing to health budgets? All right, moving on to the front page of The Punch. The Punch, we have Sudan conflict. Evacuation begins today as federal government releases 150 million, hires 40 buses.
NAN's leadership. Tinubu NWC meets contestants.
Buhari president-elect. Governors mourn renowned journalist Enahuru.
Federal government's US firm sign MOU on $15 billion rail project. That's no child's play there.
Ex-presidential candidate asks court to stop May 29 inauguration.
Buhari president-elect. Governors mourn renowned journalist Enahoro.
On assault, police to prosecute spare part dealer. CP fires DPO. I actually saw a particular video on this assault of the lady, the one we talked about last time, that she was just going by the roadside and the like.
You saw the updated video? Did you see the updated video?
I was shocked.
Okay.
I was just like, so this lady just reacted emotionally for people to come into and to wade into the matter. So this man didn't really slap her.
Okay, now that's what you perceived, right? Then my perception of the second video was like, could it be that
maybe
she's
they coerced her
been paid,
into doing that,
or she's been threatened to debunk the first video? That's what I saw.
There are so many things,
because the first video to me looked very real. You understand? When someone is speaking from here, you could feel it, you know. So I feel that the second video, you know, the way she did it, I feel
she has been threatened.
Probably she's been threatened to be like, why would you do that? Maybe I thought of, okay, who was that man, or who is that man?
We haven't yet to see the man's picture.
Okay, probably he's a notable person. So if he is, that means anything could have happened. This is Nigeria. Moving on, we have federal government cuts power firms from national grid.
All right, moving on to the next front page of The Guardian. We have airfares hit new high as foreign airlines settle for $5.82 to $1. Wow.
Okay, this is actually a heavy one if you ask me. You are replicating Buhari's distasteful foreign medical trips. Huriwa tells Tinubu.
Darkness looms as TCN moves to disconnect the 14 discos.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. That would not be fair for... Oh my goodness. Okay. Interim government, we have constitutional leave forbidding fruit, still tempting 30 days after.
30 years after. Constitutionally forbidden fruit. I think that means they're talking about interim government, or, you know, a coup or something else. You know, just truncating this democracy, because 1993 they actually had the democratic election, which this man, MQ Abiola, you know, it was annulled, and series of stuffs actually happened. So I think they are talking that they are now saying that we shouldn't make the same mistake of going back to what happened during that period. But I believe that the court would
have the final say.
They have the final say, and I hope they would actually, you know, do what is right. Moving on, we have prosecutorial challenges. Politics may set fleeing Adamawa resident electoral commissioner free. Okay.
I don't know, why did I laugh actually? Okay, I think on the last we have Sudan crisis. Federal government to airlift stranded Nigerians via safe route. Warns against treacherous journeys. Okay, before they leave them, let's take a look at the front page of Vanguard. A post. Obi'S case threatened as Labour Party factions fight dirty. Apapa seeking to scuttle Obi'S petition against Tinubu. That's coming from Aburi. And also, judiciary, DSS, police others on notice. It is cheap blackmail, Apapa. Okay, here is people of Taraba State crying out, saying we are under bandit siege. They are telling them the federal government, I believe. Wow. Buhari Obi Obaseki Sanwo-Olu mourn as iconic journalist Peter Enahoro dies at 88 in London. UTME candidates' parents decry system malfunction, technical glitches. Niger Delta leaders list section of PIA for immediate review. Dual citizenship doesn't disqualify anyone born in Nigeria from contesting elections, coming from... I don't really know how. Probably from APC chieftain. Moving on, we have the PSC approved appointment posting of 12 commissioners of police. And moving on to the final front page of the newspaper right here, to the sporting scene. Today we'll be having the most, would I say, the most important game of this season's EPL, and title pursuit of Arsenal and title defense of Manchester City. It is so very important that whoever wins today's tie would, to a very large extent, determine who ends up lifting the EPL trophy. So we have leaders, battle holders in potential title decider. A City game would not decide title. That's coming from Ateta. I think he's trying to play safe, or he's trying to talk himself out of the pressure or something. Okay. From stars to flops, Eagle stars who fell to shine at new clubs. Pochettino agrees to coach Chelsea. But I think it will... Well, we are still looking at the outcome of Pochettino. Chelsea fans are smiling already. They are smiling, but
I just know, let's just give them 3 years or 4 years to balance the team. Even if they won't sack Pochettino now.
Did I hear you say 3 or 4 years?
3 to 4 years.
You are a
at
complete
least.
enemy, please.
I'm not. Hey.
Moving on, we have Madrid battle 5 EPL teams for Chukwueze.
Leipzig and Balogun interest over. Leipzig and Balogun interest over 35 million euros fee. Wow.
Okay, Olatunji, multi-talented teen in love with Arsenal.
Castellanos net 4 to sink champions. Yesterday we saw Girona and Real Madrid. Just a single player, Castellanos, netting 4 goals against the Los Blancos, the invisibles of the UEFA Champions League. That's so, that's football. Anything can happen. Just like I can see Arsenal replicating the same feats today.
Okay.
They play.
Moving on, this is coming from Obona. He said, Falcon star inspired by dad.
Okay, sports stars to refund fans for Newcastle defeat. It is worth it. They have to refund them. How can they be beating me 3-0 in the first 10 minutes? And I wouldn't, me as a fan that paid for tickets won't ask for a refund. It's impossible. All right, that's all we have for you on the newspaper front pages. Let's take a look at the headlines. Nigeria's indebtedness eats 6 trillion naira as 6 trillion as outgoing governors bow out with outrageous pensions.
Adamu APC leaders meet Tinubu considers South for Senate President and Northwest for Speaker.
All right, if you're watching us right now, you can click on the like button. You can also drop your comments. I think we have a series of comments right now. A sizable number of people watching us. You can drop your comment and you can also like the program. If you have not subscribed, you can use the subscribe button as well. We can see Miss Gladys Oyabo saying good morning to you all. Well done, our beloved presenters. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. So actually, this story yesterday, Nigeria's indebtedness eating 6 trillion and governors. Actually, I was on the platform yesterday, on the Punch Twitter space yesterday. We were discussing about this thing, and many people were saying stuff like, why would governors actually go home with humongous pensions while their states are sinking? Because when a particular state is owing, then the governor is saying that the governor is lobbying with the lawmakers to actually sign some kind of bills that allows the governor to go home with a life, a life pension. You serve for 4 years or serve for 8 years, then you want to be paid for life. And a civil servant who serve for 35 years with about just 55,000 pension every month, and they can't even pay the pension. So how do we equate selfish leaders from the selfless leaders? That's
actually one of the reasons why any of them that his or her own tenure finishes, they want to vie for another position, because they are gaining something. Yeah. I know in a place where you are and you're gaining something, you wouldn't want to leave that place. Of course. Because if you live there, the whole thing is gone. Yes. You can't get those, should I call them entitlements, from that office anymore. So I believe that's one of the reasons why they keep going from one position to the other, because of what they get. The last time too, I believe, we saw this story that has to do with the governors gifting themselves multi-million naira stores and all that, after
pensions and gratuities,
leaving office,
bonuses.
That is it. So, and that's the reason why most of them, it's not because they actually have the interest of the people at heart, but because of what they would gain after when they leave the office.
A man actually said on the space yesterday that it's not as if I won't say, I actually disagree with what he said. He said something like, these people, by the time they get to power, they have access to millions and billions of naira. So we have to keep on paying them this kind of outrageous pension to make them not steal our money. And I was like, how can you bribe someone to not steal your money again? Okay, look at former governors who have
very funny. You bribe someone not to steal your money.
Not to steal your money. Okay, it's just like you are what's it called? You are a CEO and you employed a manager for your company. This manager has access to millions of naira in your company. Then they say, okay, for my manager not to steal this money, okay, let me be giving my manager a hefty salary. They said human needs are insatiable. There's no way you can satisfy human being. If this person have access to £1 billion today, by the time he starts spending that £1 billion, he would want to get more. It would be shifting to trillion and then going further after that.
Sure.
So I actually think we have weaker institutions. They will have stronger politicians. Our politicians are stronger than the institution. Just look at the EFCC now. Look at SERAP, ICPC. Have they been able to bring any of these corrupt politicians to book or anything? They've not been able to bring them to book in the past, many years. It is after the administration will now realize that okay, they've actually stolen these funds, they've did this, they've did that, then okay, they want to return it. It shouldn't work that way. I think there should be a rule whereby all these governors and political post holders, they shouldn't have absolute power entirely. There should be a power that will be above them to checkmate what they are doing. Because if there is no such power there, I think they'll just have this. They'll feel like they are too powerful for the system.
They are answerable to the federal authority.
And when the federal authority is not what's it called? Is not checkmating them for now. So what do we do about that?
That's why I did say something one time that the office of the president, if you ask me, is not just is actually to oversee to the affairs of the nation.
The nation.
And when we talk about overseeing to the affairs of the nation, it also includes the regional leaders. The regional leaders are the governors.
State leaders.
The state leaders rather, and the governors. You have to know what they are doing. The monies that are being allocated to states, how are they utilized? How are they making use of this money?
They should be accountable to the federal government.
They are not even they should. They are. They are accountable. They must be accountable. You are a state governor, and then money is being allocated to your state. Sometimes they will award contracts.
Yeah.
Like minor using how would I put it now? Materials, or do I say facility
inferior
equipment,
materials
to carry out
the
projects,
budget.
And then they will inflate the monies. But then the same thing applies to the local government chairman.
Yes.
They are answerable to the state governor, and whereby the state governor doesn't care about what the local government chairman is doing. They will do anything they want. So if the president doesn't care about what the state governors are doing, they will do anything they want. That's where you now see them. They will sit down on that seat for 4 years, and they will not do anything tangible for the state that elected them into that office. They'll give them excuses, and then when you're leaving, you still live with money.
Yes, exactly.
And it's even like the way it is now. It's even compulsory that they have to give you money. Place you on salary even after you've left the office.
Left the office.
It's just so appalling.
Yeah. So very, very appalling. And I think they can actually change the status quo. But I realize that if this kind of thing continues, then that means the lawmakers, those people making the law, they would have a certain share out of the money these governors are getting. Because you can't, it is actually sure that they can't make a law that would only favor the governors and not in turn favor them because they are the lawmakers. All of these things, I think they are interwoven. Like until we have an institution just like ICPC, EFCC, SERAP, all other kind of institutions that are standing alone, not actually being elected or being selected or appointed by government officials. Because most of these government officials, if they can actually appoint those leaders there, let's say chairman of SERAP, ICPC, or EFCC, then that means they'll be loyal. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. They'll be loyal to those people that appointed them there. I think they should just be an organization, there should just be a body that is secluded from the government. They would be under the payroll as well, but the government, probably the governors should not have access to them. They should not be elected. They should be chosen probably by the Nigerian Bar Association in conjunction with something else.
The Nigerian Bar Association. Now the NBA president is also influenced by the politicians. See, there is no our politicians are so powerful that you can't just do anything. You can't be a voice, of course, except the entertainment industry.
Yes.
They're actually the ones doing things their own way without the government interfering. And watch, if the moment government start interfering in our entertainment industry, just what was going to happen.
Comes down.
Even the people that we feel that, they are the ones giving us what we want, you will stop hearing from them if they don't dance to the tune of these people. You get so. Even the NBAs and the likes, these people, they are their oga. So now, even some of them, before they they elect them or they appoint them. I don't know. The NBA, do they elect or appoint them?
I think the appointment.
Appointments. You know, appointments. Yes, it's appointments.
So they have to be loyal to those who appointed them there.
Of course.
Okay, Adamu, APC leaders meet Tinubu, consider South for Senate presidency and also Northwest for speaker. Many people are saying that the transition committee of the APC does not include anybody from the Southeast, and also now Adamu and APC leaders are considering South for the Senate presidency. Does it now mean that you know, the Southeasterners would, to some extent, you know, I won't say they will be restricted, but is it that they won't be given as much access, unlike the other regions, to have, you know, they'll be included in this government? That's what many people are saying on the street there. Okay,
on the streets, they are saying, why wouldn't they want to give an Igbo man the opportunity in Nigerian politics? At least being a Senate president wouldn't be a bad idea.
Of course.
So you, our viewer, watching us this morning, I don't know, what do you think about these issues we are discussing? We'll go on a short break. When we're back, we'll continue from where we stopped. Please don't go away. Stay tuned.
Alright guys, you're still watching Lagos this morning. Let's take a look at the comment we have for today. Ms. Gladys said, Nigeria is our beloved country. This is the time for positive change. God Almighty has some pleasant surprises for us all. Again, birds of the same feathers flock together. Time shall tell. All those who helped in looting to enrich themselves shall face the wrath of God Almighty. Would I say amen to that?
We're actually supposed to say amen, honestly, but I don't know why the...
Well, I think I would take that as a declaration, not a prayer, to be precise.
It's actually a prayer, not a decree. You know, when you talk about decree, you say, they will surely, like, there's a way you say it, but this is a prayer.
Okay, moving on. There's talking about the Southeasterners, you know, being a little bit, would I say, not being invited to the table to dine with the other geopolitical zones when it comes to government and the likes. They are still on the matter. It can still be someone from the southeast, but all other geopolitical zones as well, they have the same access and they have the same right as the southeasterners. But maybe just for equity and for fairness, for balance to some extent, maybe they are just thinking they should actually zone it down to the southeasterners. And also kudos and knocks trailed Buhari's apology to Nigerians. Nigerians are actually, we are peace-loving people. We don't really, we move on with time. Easily we just move on, especially if the next person is worse than is even far worse than the previous person. That's when we now start praying, hey!
I know what the president said. He said Nigerians will miss me. Remember that?
No, Nigerians, we won't miss him.
But he did say that.
We will not miss him.
He said that. We saw the report whereby the president, President Buhari said, Nigerians and Nigeria will miss me.
That means he would have seen something. Or why would he even just utter that kind of statement?
When that story popped up on the social media, people were like, wow, for him to be saying this at this time, who knows what is coming? But we are not praying. We believe that something good is definitely here. That's my prayer. I believe that's your prayer too. So nobody's going to we wouldn't want to wish ourselves anything also, worse than what we've already experienced. That would be disastrous. And also missing him might be positive or negative. So it's just saying this thing is not being explicit enough. Maybe break it down to say positively or negatively. So but for real, Nigerians will miss him. When words like this come out at this kind of time that we are in, it can be interpreted in different ways. Yes, exactly. And also moving on to the Sudan crisis, we are having issues evacuating stranded Nigerians in Sudan. There's a particular video. There's no way we would have actually played the video. There are some explicit content right there. So this guy said, and it also trended on social media space yesterday, on Twitter to be precise, that Nigerian citizens wanted to enter because all these people being trapped in Sudan, they were entering the nearest country, which is Ethiopia. And at the Ethiopian border, they allowed other citizens of other countries to enter. But when they got to Nigeria, they said no. Why? They don't want Nigerians into their country. So it actually became a topic yesterday. Many people talking about, Ethiopia, why would they do that? Do they so hate Nigeria? There's a particular post that says that they said they don't want terrorists inside their country or something. Wow, they call Nigerians terrorists. I don't understand. I don't know how true that is, but it trended yesterday about thousands of tweets and retweets also. So from that yesterday till today, there was report that there were issues getting to these people and actually bringing them out to be able to pick them from Ethiopia and actually airlift them. But the federal government now are now saying that they might have to airlift them right inside Sudan. Just look for a safe spot to airlift them from there. But we have about 5,500 people, Nigerians. How would we airlift 5,500 people? Is it actually possible? Well, the thing there is, see, if you are Nigerian or you have someone who is Nigerian in Sudan at this time, just try as much as you can to stay safe. I don't really know how they are going to do that, but please, you need to stay safe for yourself. Yeah. Because 5,000 plus people is not 500 people. And then there is a war going on. And see, okay, let me really talk about this Ethiopia country saying that Nigerians shouldn't come into it. Sometimes it's not really because Nigeria is a bad country, but because of the image that Nigerians outside the shores of this country have painted. Yeah. The image they've painted of Nigeria and of themselves too. You see a situation whereby a Nigerian will go to a particular place and then, the things happening on social media, they will tell you that Nigerians are fraudsters, Nigerians are this, but that doesn't mean that it's actually everybody. But come on, that's the image that most people have painted. Yes. And it's actually it's not really nice like that. Look at we are in this situation right now, and we actually need a way out. We need help, and then this is the feedback we are getting. I think it's really bad. But even if we look at it from another angle, even if Nigerians have been painted in such light, when it comes to a matter of life and death, the Ethiopians should have allowed them to enter their country, even if you just give them particular space and don't go beyond this limit here. Exactly. Don't go beyond this place, but just stay here.
So I think for them to have restricted Nigerians in totality from entering into their country, I think is a bad one, because we have, a sizable number of African country to be precise, and we have a sizable number of Africans spread across all the whole countries. There's no way you would enter Nigeria now and not meet an Ethiopian in Nigeria here, or a South African, or a Ghanaian, or a Togolese. So many people are staying inside in Nigeria, and we have Nigerians spread all over Africa as well. So if we as Africans start treating ourselves like this, then how do we expect the West to not treat us? Because when we are not even united inside, we are divided on our own, how do we want to unite ourselves in the presence of the outsiders? I think they should have done better than that.
They should have done better. And please, they can still do better, because the whole thing is still happening and we still need our people to be safe.
And you also know there's something that just, would I say, surprised about. Yesterday they declared 24-hour ceasefire between the two factions actually fighting. If you can declare a 24-hour ceasefire, why can't you declare that you're no more interested in this war going on? The two factions can agree to ceasefire for 24 hours. So after the people evacuate their own people, you now continue. Does it actually, what's the meaning of that?
Sometimes I feel that people just like war or something. But honestly, my own point, my concern in this whole thing is Nigerians in Sudan needs to be safe. I don't know how our government is going to do that. Please, we need to attend to these people and find every means possible. I believe there will also be another neighboring country other than Ethiopia,
yes,
to take them there just to make sure that they are safe for now.
And I'm looking forward on that as well. I think the Sudan themselves, the Sudanese should actually, because we had reports yesterday from Khartoum that people are drastically moving away from the capital city of Sudan because their life is at risk. So they are moving to the nearest countries and they are allowing them to move into their nation. So what does this say entirely? It's saying that Sudan is not united right now, and it might even escalate to other African countries as well. So now, like this, what is the African Union? What are they doing? When we have African Union and they can't even intervene in what is going on in Sudan, then why do we even have the union entirely?
And then that brings me to, about these poets, or this poem rather, or Africa, my Africa. Did you read that?
I didn't read it.
Africa, we actually need to wake up. Africa needs to wake up, honestly. Moving on, right? We have the story of Labour Party disassociating self from letter seeking withdrawal of Obi'S case against the president-elect, Bola Tinubu.
What's going on now in the Labour Party is just a very funny and dicey situation, where someone just wakes up one day and says that he is the chairman of Labour Party, like the head of Labour Party, and you're saying you want to go to the court to withdraw Obi'S case against Tinubu. Then that says a lot that there's something actually fishy underneath. Then that means there are some facts there that you don't want it to get to a certain point before you withdraw them. Because if you claim that you are in the Labour Party and you are the leader of the Labour Party, why would you want to go and withdraw that kind of case? And many people are saying that this man is being planted there by opposition parties to scuttle Peter Obi's chances of winning in the court.
Okay, I actually saw this. I don't know. I think I need to send it to our technical so that we'll just show the video. Sorry, the picture is a picture, and I'll read what is the content of it. Just give me a second. Okay.
All right, we have Mr. Damian Osaz. Good morning, Mr. Damian Osaz.
Thank you for joining us
on the program. You can hit on the like button if you've not done that. And let's have your comment. We have a sizable number of people watching us. Let's have a comment. We've talked about Nigeria's indebtedness, eating 6 trillion naira as outgoing governors are bowing out with outrageous pensions. What do you feel about that?
Okay, yes, this I saw this report on Twitter actually. Someone says Lamidi Apapa and his fellow actors are completely unaware of the Electoral Act 2022 position on petition withdrawal. Talking about this withdrawal
the
of Obi'S case and all that. He said, Rule 29 of the Rules of Procedure for Election Petitions says, 29 subsection 1, an election petition shall not be withdrawn without leave of the tribunal or court. 2. The petitioners are where the petitioners are more than one, no application for leave to withdraw the election petition shall be made except with the consent of all the petitioners.
Yeah.
The next, okay, then I said, what this, oh my goodness, pardon me, this is not my writing actually, I'm quoting what someone said. He said, what this Babalawo know as Abapa and his fellow actors are doing is pointless. P2B's petition cannot be withdrawn at this stage. Their last-ditch effort has already failed. The obedient movement has undoubtedly assembled the most intelligent and rugged people around the globe because Obi is epitomized truthfulness and hopefulness bar none. You know, that's the last paragraph is not actually my center of reference. It's about the rule 29, 1 and 2 of the Electoral Act.
So there's no way you can actually withdraw the case unless the petitioner actually withdraws the case by himself. Which is Peter Obi and the Labour Party in totality. So I think they just want to try and elongate the whole scenario because you now start fighting from who is the leader of the Labour Party.
And the more they keep dragging this thing, I don't really know how they're going to do it because if this election tribunal, if the tribunal didn't hold, I don't know how possible it is that there will be a swearing in.
Well, you know, someone actually said they might, when it gets a little bit to the date of the swearing in, they might adjourn the case. Then after adjourning the case, the swearing. Then after the swearing, they can now say, okay, come back to the court, you know, and start dragging the case while the president has been sworn in. While the president-elect has been sworn in already. So I think everything is just like game plan. I'm not sure anybody will just come out now and declare the winner through the courts. I don't think so. I think the game plan is just, you know, elongate the whole process. Then when it gets to a particular point in time, adjourn the case till after the swearing in when the governor is already on seat. And governance is going on already. And you will now find some people of the same region with the petitioners coming up to use a little bit of, you know, playing the tribal card, like saying, okay, let's everybody move on. You know, let's move on with life. They've started doing this thing in our region and the like. I think it's just a game plan, you know. From the beginning to the end, they've actually written the script. That by this time, this will be happening. By this time, we'll play this card. By this time, we'll use these tactics. Then, you know, we get to the end of the point. Then make sure we stress this person out until he does not have any strength to even go to the court anymore. So, to some extent, that's what they're saying in the streets. That's what many people are actually saying.
But the truth is it right? Is it right, actually? I don't know. I believe that someone watching this program this morning has an answer to this. Please, you can call in. There'll be a phone number dropped on the comment section that you can call us in with. Yeah. Let's know what you think about this Labour Party disassociating itself from later seeking withdrawal of Obi'S case against Tinubu and about what I just read now. Let me read it again, though.
The section which states that
the Rule 29 of the Rules of Procedure for Election Petition. The number 1 rule, according to what we saw online, says an election petition shall not be withdrawn without leave of the tribunal or court. 2, where the petitioners are more than one, no application for leave to withdraw the election petition shall be made except with the consent of all the petitioners.
So there's no way he can withdraw the petition. He can't withdraw it on his own unless he has, even if he has majority of the petitioners on his side, he can't withdraw it unless he has all the petitioners.
All of them.
So it's just to scuttle the whole scenario and just, you know, elongate the whole process. That's, from my point of view, that's what I think.
You know, when this, after the presidential election and when the whole court case came in the first time, I actually felt that, oh, wow, they're going to court, okay. So we are looking at, in space of 1 month, everything should have been resolved. Then we now know what's actually going on. But then, the whole thing being dragged up to this time, it's looking like there is no hope for the Labour Party and the PDP. You know, looking like the APC, they're already there. So why not let them be? And just, since they're already there, let them do what they want to do, maybe until after 4 years. And then you hear people say, let them be how? Have you forgotten that no president of this country rules for 4 years? if they've not finished their 8 years, even if they didn't get into the re-election bid, they will find their way in. Nobody does 4 years in this country except
Goodluck Jonathan. I actually did 6 years. 2 years from Yar'Adua's administration, then 4 years his own administration. Also, let's just move away a little bit from politics now to the crime scene. Assault, police to prosecute spare parts dealer as CP fires DPO. I think the man should actually be prosecuted. But right now, we are yet to even see his picture at all. And that says a lot. We've seen the lady's picture, but why are we not having the picture of this man who assaulted this lady? You know, it says a lot of things about that. You know, there are so many question marks on it. Because if it's just someone like a random guy on the street, we would have his picture all over on the internet by now. But we can't even see what it looks like. Which means to some extent, to a very large extent, what this lady said that he said it won't take more than money. That he would say to himself, he would buy himself out of the whole situation. That means the man actually said what he said. That means it's actually the truth. If we can't get his picture right now, and we don't know anything about him, we are just, you know, hearing, what's it called, he would be prosecuted, stuff will happen, then, you know, it says a lot about Nigeria's system of, you know, handling matters. And even the police force too as well. So I think the man should actually be prosecuted, even if not, you know, to some extent, he should actually pay some kind of fines, or he should make a video apology to this lady. A video, let people see his face. So by the time we are walking on the road and we meet him on the road, you'll be able to say, okay, run away from this man before he assaults you again. You know, stuff like that. You know,
I said something before. When I saw that, like I said before when we started, the first video to me actually looked real. But then the second video to me seemed to be like, okay, she's been forced to come and thank you very much for that word. She's been coerced to come and say, this didn't happen. He wasn't the person who did this to me. So why are you speaking up now? Why did you make the first video? Exactly. Even though she claimed that she did that out of emotions, out of anger and all. But looking at it, does it really show anger? Or to me, it was real.
The truth.
The second one now is what seemed to me like she's trying to cover up. You know. Okay, I don't know. Permit me. Let's drift a little bit. There's this video. I actually saw this video, all right. There was a man I saw in that video. When I watched it, I was like, what's actually happened? I don't know if we can play the video so we can listen to it. They said they found, this man met someone and asked the person to give him 500 naira. And when he did, the guy's manhood disappeared.
Oh my
so I was
goodness.
asking myself, is that jazz or something?
You know, there's actually, you know, all this black magic and stuff is actually real. But I don't even want to experience, I will never experience it in my life. And I'm even here to witness one. I'm here to witness one. But I think to some extent, you know, when people think that taking other people's manhood spiritually would actually make you rich, I think it's just insane. It's actually insane. Just look at the world's richest people. How many manhood has Dangote taken to get to that point that he is today? Even if you do money ritual or something, how much is the money ritual going to give to you? It's not as if you're going to get as rich as Elon Musk or as Bill Gates or Warren Buffett or something. So why even venture into this kind of thing? I think most people have actually preferred solutions to stuffs. The more people you solve their problems, the more money you get back in turn. If you're solving problem of people of about 1 million, just like this man Adeleke or what's his name or Leke Adeboye, the son of RCCG founder, what's his name, Pastor Adeboye, that said he actually made millions from selling rubber wristband. Those people, worshippers there, they will be needing the wristband, you know, to some extent, you know, just to have the RCCG logo on their body, on their, you know, while they go around, you know, just to be part of the whole system. They need this band, and you provided it to them. You have a market already. Let's say about 1 million people. If you sell one for them for 200 naira or 100 naira, you've made 100 million naira automatically. So I think the more solution you profile there, if you have about 1,000 people needing water in this space now, dig about 2 boreholes there for them. Just, you know, monetize it. Probably a pail of water or something will be sold for 20 naira or something. You make millions. So you're now going there to even do ritual. It's just something else. To me, personally, something else. If I can't get as rich as Bill Gates and those people, and I'm, you know, going for that kind of stuff, then you are just harming your fellow human being. unknowingly.
Okay, let's take a look at the video so we can get what the man was asked and then the answer that he gave. That will help us.
And do we have the video?
Look here. What's your name? I want to record it. Look this way.
I will give him the money.
What's your name?
I'm Desmond by
Speak loud, speak loud.
Desmond by name.
Desmond, by how old are you?
I'm 38.
You are 38. Where do you reside here in Lagos?
I reside
Eh?
Ago.
You reside in Agor? Okay. The next question I want to ask you. How long now have you been in this job of making people man disappear? How many years now have you been doing? Don't lie. You.
The reason why...
Don't give reasons. I want to know how long now. How long have you been doing these things that you did to this man now? Because this man standing here now, this man that I'm videoing now, his manhood is not okay. You asked him, you went to his shop at Technical College, right? Desmond. And you begged him that you are stranded, that he should give you 500 naira. And he did not even do anything. He gave you the 500 naira. To my greatest surprise, look at the money you have in your pocket. Look at the money you have in your pocket. Check this ID card, please. Look at the money. You have all this money in your pocket, yet you were still begging for 500 naira. Only for him to please, you push, you move back. Only for him to give you 500 naira, you discover his mouth is no longer okay. I want to ask you the question again to avoid any problem. How many years now have you been to this rubbish?
I will say like... It's not up to...
Speak. I'm not. You are lying. You are lying. I will ask you again for the last time. How many years now have you been in Desmond into this kind of rubbish that you ask people for money, they will give you money, the amount will disappear? How many years now have you been practicing this nonsense for the last time?
Okay, I've been doing this like this. I've been doing it like now, let's say, like up to a year now.
Anyway, let's even leave that.
A year now.
Now, into this kind of rubbish that you ask people for money, they will give you money, the amount will...
All right, that's the video. It's just, funny. How would you actually just take someone else's manhood? Your fellow man.
Really? It sounds funny, but then it's not funny. Are you a ritualist? What do you want to do with that? I've been saying this because something happened in my area. I think that should be about 2 or 3 days ago as well. 3 days ago, we were actually at home with my sister, we were having our dinner, and then we heard ole, ole, ole. So we felt that it was actually an armed robber or a thief or something. But when I eventually came outside to get water, there was this lady, she was narrating what happened, that I saw an aboki carrying something on a sack bag.
Okay.
I don't know how they managed to stop him and they searched. Lo and behold, it was human body. I'm not talking about, I didn't say in the East. I mean here in Lagos. I mean in this Ogba, Kera.
Human body.
It was human.
Body parts.
Body parts. And then I asked, okay, how did you guys know? She said, probably, there are people that have all these spiritual eyes, they would have, okay, they must have sensed that there's something strange on that inside that man's bag, and then they stopped him and all that. If you see the beating they gave to this guy, funny enough, he was a messenger. It wasn't his. Someone asked him to carry it and pass.
Whoa.
So I just feel that we actually need to be very, very careful these days, because the way people are looking for money is just something else.
Okay, let's move to a little bit to the sporting scene. Arsenal and City meeting today for a potential title decider. If Arsenal wins, they still have a little bit of, a little bit of scary games right in front of them. They'll be meeting Chelsea, they'll be meeting Newcastle United as well, and also I think Wolverhampton, they'll be meeting them, and also Manchester City as well. But if Manchester City win this one, it's about 90% probability that they'll be lifting the league. But if Arsenal wins, it's about 60-65%. But today, many people are saying that City would actually trash Arsenal, do stuff. But we know that this football, anything can actually happen.
What's your name?
It's just a game of 90 minutes. Anybody can win. Though one person might be having the higher probability to win, but we've seen in recent times, just like Real Madrid yesterday.
I like it when you analyze
You are 38.
football, especially when Arsenal.
Where do you reside here in Lagos?
I say the reality of it. Yesterday we saw a game whereby Madrid, being the champions of the Champions League, even the champion of La Liga as well.
How long
very
have you
big
been
team
in
there.
this job?
And just a
making
little team,
people
I think
mount
Girona,
How many years now
defeating
have you
Real
been?
Madrid,
Don't
scoring
lie.
4 goals from Real Madrid just by one.
The reason why
If that can actually happen,
Don't give reasons.
I believe it's
I want to
football.
know how long
Nothing is
now,
impossible when it comes to
how
football. The
long
game of
have
the round
you
leader.
been
Anybody can win.
doing
Anybody
these
can
things
lose.
that you did
So
to this
it's,
man now?
to some extent,
Because this man
I'm
standing here
tipping
now,
Arsenal.
this
Not
man
because
that
not because I'm an
now,
Arsenal fan, but if
this
you look at
man
it for
with
the
his
past
all
5 seasons,
you asked
Manchester
him,
City
you
has
went to
won
his shop
4 league titles.
at technical
Now if they win
college,
this
right?
one now,
Desmond.
allow other people to
And you
win
begged him.
now.
So
Abba.
that
Please,
you have
Arsenal
standard.
fans out there,
That should give
a
you,
lot of people have,
he
they've
should give
already
you 500
bet.
naira.
They've staked with their monies. So if you guys fuck up, you're going to cause some people to cry, actually.
Okay, let's move away from that to a little bit of another story as well. Why many women remain unmarried even at 28? Mike Bamiloye. He actually said why many women remain unmarried at 28. Like they are not prepared for the marriage. They are preparing for. They can take all the whole years to prepare for that one day, which is called the wedding. Say, okay, you want to go to market to buy a ashwebi, my wedding gown would actually, many ladies actually fantasize of that day, but they don't fantasize of the actual marriage.
My day.
My day.
My special day.
Exactly. My wedding gown will be like this. I will do this. I will do that. But majority of them forget that it is just like a door to a building. You're thinking about the door, but you're not thinking about the life. How would you live inside the whole building entirely? How would you set the whole things? And he actually said majority of ladies don't even know what they call home management. You don't even know how to take care of the home. So they need to start learning all this rudiment of marriage before even getting there. There's no crime in preparing for your wedding day. There's no crime. But the most important thing, you don't see people doing wedding for more than, highest thing you see is 48 hours, no matter how rich you are. But let's say you are very, very rich, you do it for 72 hours, for 3 days straight. You do your wedding ceremony.
Party.
Even 7 days party. But when it comes to the actual marriage, you see marriage of 50 years marriage, 65 years, 60 years marriage also. Have you seen 60 years wedding ceremony before? It's not possible. So I think majority, but not only to the guy or to the ladies now, I think the guys too as well. If you as a guy, me personally, I know that to a very large extent, I know how to take care of the home. So if you have a lady that does not know how to take care of the home, even the guys does not help matters majority of the time. You just look at these ladies because of what they look like. When you don't even have a much say on how you look. Many people just when they give birth to you, you look like either your father or your mother or the combination of both. And if they are not that good looking, then that means to some extent you would not really be good looking too. To a very large extent. That means that's the way it is. But many guys out there look at the physical attraction, the physical features of the lady. I want my lady to be sexy, to be hot. When it comes to doing the things like the mother does, taking care of the home, they are nowhere to be found. And these ladies too, they don't prepare. We see many of them now doing TikToks, social media, pressing phone. I even have some of them that are close to me that I just feel like you get married one day and you just be there, just stay one place and be buying junks. You don't even cook. By the time you get married to someone, would you be buying junks for your children? Or even if you would be going out there to buy food, it is not every time there will be money. At times you need to cut your coat according to your clothes or something, to just manage things for the meantime, and it will balance again. So I think many people out there, both the guys, cutting across both gender now, both the guys and the ladies should be prepared ahead for this marriage. But most especially the ladies, because I always say that they are the owners of the home. Guys' own is just to, finance the home and keep it running. But the actual home, to make it stand, is the duty of the woman.
Oh, now you think?
Yeah.
Actually, it beats my imagination when I hear guys say that it is the man's, the only responsibility or duty of the man is to
primary duty
is to provide, like, to go out there, make
provide
money,
and protect.
No, you didn't say protect. Sorry,
Provide.
I'm going to talk based on
Provide protection.
You didn't say protect.
Provide security.
You didn't say protect.
Hey, when
So
you're providing, it includes security now.
I'm going to talk based on the money aspect, which was what you mentioned.
Hey, the money will bring security now. Financial security.
Let me tell you,
anything, the money will bring it.
The place of a woman is not to take. It's not just
primary.
See, as a man, both men and women needs to prepare, because if these two people, if a woman prepares and marry an unprepared man, the marriage is going to fail.
Wait.
And if when I'm coming,
I'm
I allow you
about,
to
wait. Because let me complete my point. You are misconstruing my point. I said primarily. You know what I said primarily? Like the lady primarily. This is what you can do further.
Can you rewind?
Yeah, they can rewind. they can rewind. I didn't say it's not meant to protect. Your provision, you provide for the family, for the family to run. Once you stop putting money into the marriage, you don't pay for house again. Your house is gone. You meet yourself on the street. Even if the wife is ready to take care of the home and you can't finance the home, you find yourself on the street or something, and your children will stop going to school or something. So the man has his primary roles and the woman has his primary roles. You can go overboard to help her. She can help you. But you have to first of all do your primary roles. That's just my own.
Well, I don't know who this is going to help this morning. Mr. Mike Bamiloye, right?
Yeah.
He said that why some women remain unmarried even at 28. I also understand the point that there is no fixed time that someone should get married. Like at this age, you're supposed to have married. I don't think there's anything like that, and I don't think there's. I don't believe in that actually.
Okay.
There are so many. If a man prepares and marries an unprepared woman, they will have conflicts in that house because they can never think or reason alike. Because you're talking to a TikToker, and then you're talking. Imagine where a TikToker meets.
What?
Let's say the woman is a TikToker who doesn't really know her place. When it's time for her to make food for the husband who has been off since morning, she'll be making TikTok videos. If that kind of man meets that kind of woman, they will have issues. If you can't be a man who does not have chill, support law, that, and then if a prepared woman now meets an unprepared man, who doesn't even know his place, who doesn't know that his job does not just end. Damien Osaz is laughing. Who doesn't know that his job does not just end in going out there making money? I am the man of this house. I work so hard. I put food on the table. That is not just where your role ends, if you ask me.
Okay, where does his role end?
Come on, a man should be in charge of his home.
Okay.
Even if you're making money, I've seen the situation whereby a man is a workaholic, but doesn't know how to take charge in his house. Yeah. That kind of house, if your wife, you can go out there and make money, then your wife now tells you how to spend your money. There are homes like that. You're a colossal waste.
You will take charge now.
You're a colossal failure. As a man, you should prepare, not just women.
Yeah. Not
just women preparing now. Men also have to prepare, because there are so unprepared men out there. There are those ones that don't know that once you're married, don't keep late nights. You go out and still hang out with friends. By 11 p.m. you're still out, and then your wife is at home. And you want to tell me that you prepared before you got into that marriage? No, you did not. Whoever that lectured you did not lecture you well. I'm sorry to say, but seriously, that's one of the reasons why some people will have problem, because your wife is at home, she has made your dinner, and then you're nowhere to be found.
Wow. You
are with your friends, hanging out that day, you say they are my friends. Come on now, when you are married, you should know that you are married. There are some things that you were doing when you were single that you ought to stop the moment you are married.
Yeah, sure.
So as a man who wants to get married, you should also prepare and channel your mind towards raising a family. Because marriage is not just about you and the woman. Kids will start coming.
Of course.
No, when you start raising children, you now understand. I'm not married, but then, you know, and
you have to be prepared.
I think I'm prepared to a large extent because my preparation, for women, as a woman, see, once you clock 20, that's where most of our parents have actually failed. Because they leave what they're supposed to do for their girl child or for their children and they do otherwise. See, as a parent, your role or your job does not end in sending them to school. What do they do in school? You know, I'm not saying that you should monitor them like back to back. What are you doing now? Who did you go out with? At least you should know majority of the things they do at their private time. You can't tell me that you are a mother or you are a parent and you call your child who is in school today. Hello my dear, how are you? Fine. You wait for lectures? Yes. Have you eaten? Yes. What did you eat? I ate gala. Tomorrow too. What did you eat? Mommy, I just took bread and coke. The next day, seriously, like that alone should put things in your mind. When I was in school, my mom would call me, like even if I don't have food, she must call me, come home, come and take Gary. Sometimes I was feeling that she was disturbing me because I'm not the. As at that time, now I eat a lot. As at that time,
don't eat like that.
Do you know what my food? What I love eating those days? Suya and Nutri-Milk. Like every night, that's my dinner. Wow. I don't have time to cook, and it's not as if I'm busy. Okay, when I say I don't have time, what am I actually doing? I'm gisting. You're not doing anything. You're gisting. I'm just gisting. You know, I remember my roommate that time. My roommate, she's married. Is he not married? I don't know. You know, she'll be cooking food. Sometimes I'm like, must you cook every day? And then I remember one of the things, that girl, she actually spoke, like, she keeps like, this thing you're doing like this. And then if I go home, my mom, God bless her. Like, I can say this today because I can remember the things that she told me and I'm putting them to work now. And, you know, as a girl child who is aspiring to be married, you know, there are some things I need to put in place. And then as a man too, it's not to go and make money. You should channel your, it's not for real, it's not laugh. It's not laughing. Sorry. I don't know why it's fun. This is not girls' closer. It's not relationship talk. But then it's Lagos this morning. But this kind of topic is coming up. When you know, I'm seeing why most women are not married even at 28. What about men who are not married at 45?
Wait, he's talking about women.
So what about men who are not married at 45?
The topic is about women. Don't worry, when it's about men, we'll talk about it. But today, let's just talk about women, mainly.
I very rest. Men who are not married, I actually have them. Funny enough, I don't know, uncle, are you going to see this video someday? I have an uncle. Like, he's actually entering his late 40s and he's not married. As soon as I look at him, I'll be like, what is exactly this man's problem now? Like, he has actually supposed to have kids that are old enough to be my mates.
Yeah.
Why is he not still married? For goodness sake?
One thing most important.
Probably he's not ready. He has not prepared.
God bless
because you need to prepare.
Because
marriage, they give you a certificate before you start. So you guys prepare. Because it's a journey of no return. In my place where I'm coming out from, if you are married, my mother will always say, just know you're not coming back.
Yeah.
Whatever you see there, face it.
You know, when it comes to, I've not been married or something, but what I know so far so good is that for men, a man has to see himself in the marriage first before even think of, you know, settling down. I don't think ladies, I'm not sure if they reason that kind of way, because a man financially, he would see himself in that marriage first. Even if he's about 35 years or 36 or 37, if he's not seeing himself in that space, no matter the pressure you actually put on this man to get married, he will not want to get married. Even if he just, you know, get married, he will just do it based on probably, you know, his mom has been disturbing him, maybe he should bring grandchild or something, or might just get anyone impregnated.
Actually, like this feedback that Damien Osas gave. He said, being grown is enough reason to pick advices that suits your progress on social media or public. But unfortunately, we have people with cow brain. Honestly,
even some cows.
Some cows are seriously, because this is our generation. But I don't even know. You know, the invention of social media is just turning most of us to something else. You know, you just see WhatsApp.
Just speak any advice.
WhatsApp status alone. Like I literally stopped viewing people's WhatsApp status because they are posting rubbish. Now you will see someone who is like people that I call auntie. They'll be posting rubbish. I'm like, is this one?
What kind of quote is this? Is it to suit your own mentality?
That is what they do. The moment they will just go online, carry posts that will suit them. That will
defend the post.
The post that will romance their stupidity. they will not post it and not put their own caption join when nobody disturb me. You know, that kind of thing. You know, sometimes I'll be like, okay, this is literally someone I'm supposed to like, okay, please, this, what do I do? But then they are referred. Funny enough, things are just getting out of hand every day, and it's so annoying actually.
Okay, Mr. Damian, there shouldn't be an age on when it's ideal to be married. Not saying getting married below 18 years old, though. Yeah, I've actually, you know, some of my colleagues are actually married. It's because to some extent, when you've seen yourself in that marriage, in that space, even if you are 25, 26, 27, and you're actually, you know, doing well on your own, and you feel like you can actually take care of another lady and bring in children, you would actually just get married and you feel fine in it and you would move on with your life. But until a man sees himself in that space, he won't take that step. So I think that's how, you know, most men reason. So, and people too should just stop taking series of advices from just anyone, entirely. No matter the advice you actually listen to the advice, listen carefully, but
even if you
don't have to accept everything
even if you want
into
to
yourself.
get the advice from a madman, make sure he's a madman that at least has sense. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's not every advice that would make sense to everybody at the same time. Just pick the one that suits you, that works well for you, that would make you progress, not just anything. If someone will actually download all this advice now, hook, line, and sinker. Like anybody who is not married by 20, it actually means that they are not prepared for the marriage. And you know, life can be funny. You can actually be over prepared for marriage and still marry late. And there are some people that they didn't even prepare for marriage. They just got married, probably by coincidence, or they're not even ready. But the guy said, okay, don't worry, babe. Okay, you don't know how to cook, don't worry. I know how to cook, I'll cook. I'll teach you. And they get married. And along the line, they are fine with the marriage.
The people who were not prepared, but
they got into the marriage, then you know
they
can be teachable, yeah.
You know, there's a problem when you meet people who are not teachable.
How can you even date someone that's not teachable?
Unfortunately, there are people like that. The only thing that teach them is Nollywood, Netflix.
And
you know, I can say
people
this
like Blessing CEO.
I actually have a lot of them. At some point, I had to start distancing myself from most of them. They feel that okay, you now have pride. They don't understand, and I cannot explain myself. I'm sorry, because if I try to explain, some of them actually see me as a rude person. The glass is just rude. You know, she just talks anyhow.
Refuse to just take their advice like that.
How will I even take your advice now? Where do you get it from?
From a madman.
you got the advice from a madman. That's why I say even the madman, see, madness is grade by grade. You understand? There are those ones that they are completely insane, and there are people that they look mad, they don't look mad. You know, it depends on who you're taking your advice from. But honestly, I had to start distancing myself from some of them, because when you hear these girls of this age, but if you listen to them talk, you'll be like, wow.
You'll be shocked. Wow.
I beg, I want to say which parents raised these ones.
Well, it actually boils down to the upbringing as well. But some people, to some extent, some parents are loose when it comes to taking care of their children, and they don't actually let them take responsibility. They give them everything on a platter of gold, you know. They don't, from the young age, you need to start pushing them to take responsibility. Just like I was growing up, it's not as if maybe we have the best home or the best mom or something. Though personally to me, my mom is the best mom in the world. But personally, but it's not as if, you know, everybody would actually say that they have the best mom or something, or best family.
I can
but right from my small age, my mom would tell you, go and cook. If none of you can cook, then we are not eating today. We are not eating today because I'm not cooking. If at your age like this, as at about 15, 16, as your age, okay, you think because you are a guy, you will not wash plate. If you eat your food, don't wash that plate. So yeah, go and wash your plate by yourself. So also all these things right from the start, she started teaching us. So by now I don't just wake up and say, okay, my younger sister should go and wash plates. Why now? That I used. No, it doesn't make sense. You just need to do your thing, you know. Take care of your space. Even the kitchen, the parlor, there's no way you can walk into her and see everywhere being littered or being dirty. No, it doesn't make sense. Because even if you just, by sitting down, while I was young then, you know, even my dad just walking only, just his facial expression, you will know what to do. You will know what to do immediately. So all those things, if they start training them from now, even before you get to the point of marriage or something, or raising kids, you would have this sense of leadership. So to some extent,
Actually,
parents,
gone are the days when parents use eyes to communicate to their kids. Yeah, but if you go to your uncle's house, you go to your uncle's house and they serve you food, or they're about bringing food, and your parents want you to go home. The way they look at you, but this time, like, mommy, what's into your eye now? What's happening to your eyes? Your eye scratching you. All right, we'll be coming to the end of the program this morning. Let's take a look at the top stories we discussed earlier. We'll run them down just in 3 minutes, I guess. Nigeria's indebtedness hit 6 trillion naira as outgoing governors bow out with outrageous pensions.
Adamu APC leaders meet Tinubu, consider South for Senate President and Northwest for Speaker.
Knox, kudos throughout Buhari's apology to Nigerians.
Sudan crisis. We are having issues evacuating stranded Nigerians in Sudan. That's coming from the federal government.
On the next, we talked about Labour Party disassociating self from later seeking withdrawal of Obi'S case against the president-elect, Bola Tinubu.
Assault. Police to prosecute spare part dealer as CP fires DPO.
We also looked at headsmen kill Labour Party chairman in Benue State. They keep
also, the headliner of all the stories, title deciders.
Yeah, because
Arsenal, my team. Arsenal versus Man City today.
And they will collect Woto today like this. No, please, you can go ahead.
Jesus is still alive. Jesus is coming today. Jesus will deal with the citizens. The wall of Jericho will fall down flat today.
No, be Jesus push
I can assure you.
No, be Jesus push the wall of Jericho. They play.
League leaders, battle holders in potential title decider.
And then the one that got my attention, why many women remain unmarried, even at 28, coming from Mr. Mike Bankole. I believe you guys know that man, right? He's an actor.
Yes.
Christian actor.
All right, guys, we've come to the end of the program today, and I believe you've actually enjoyed the program just like we did. You know, considering this topic by Mike Bamiloye, it actually generated, you know, a lot of emotions and stuff like that. I actually enjoyed that kind of topic. I think that's the topic we'll be talking about most of the time now, to get your reaction, like emotions and everything boiling.
My emotion boiling, right? If you like, because now the way I'm looking at you now, by next year, if you not give my belly now, you don't.
Is it what?
Okay, they play.
All right.
The other day you told me that you were hyperactive. Did you forget that?
Hyperactive.
Yes.
Hyperactive how?
Okay, maybe you forgot. So we've come to the end of the program today, right? That's where we
that's where we draw the curtains today. I'm Olajide Taufik Olamide. Till we come your way again tomorrow for another edition of the program Lagos This Morning. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. I remain Gladys Aloze. Catch you tomorrow.
100 naira, let's go.